Have you ever been sitting quietly when your dog suddenly climbs onto you? Not playfully, not for a toy, not with the loose energy of simple excitement, but with urgency, with weight, with a strange insistence that feels almost out of character. Most people laugh and push the dog away. Some assume it is bad manners. Others call it clinginess, attention-seeking, or spoiled behavior. But sometimes, that moment means something far deeper. Dogs do not speak in words. They speak in pressure, posture, scent, timing, and touch. What feels awkward to us can be crystal clear in the canine mind. A stare can be a bond. A yawn can be a peace offering. A lean can be a shield. And a dog climbing onto your body can sometimes be an alarm bell wrapped in fur. In this video, we will decode the hidden psychology behind these behaviors, and by the end, you may realize your dog has been trying to communicate with you for years. To understand strange dog behavior, we have to begin far earlier than the modern home. Long before dogs slept on couches and waited by front doors, their ancestors survived by reading tiny changes in the world around them. A shift in wind could signal prey. A strange odor could signal danger. A change in body tension inside the pack could signal conflict, fear, or injury. For a social animal, survival depended on sensitivity. Dogs inherited that ancient sensitivity. Even now, inside a quiet living room, a dog is never fully off duty. Their senses move through the room like invisible fingers. They read your breathing. They notice the speed of your movements. They track your voice, your posture, and the rhythm of your day. While we live inside language, dogs live inside patterns. And when a pattern breaks, something inside them responds. That is why odd behaviors often appear suddenly. A dog may stare without blinking. They may yawn in the middle of tension. They may spin before sleep as if preparing a nest no longer needed. They may hide food like a small anxious banker guarding treasure for winter. Or they may climb onto you with surprising force, as if their body is trying to say something their mouth cannot form. To us, it can seem random. To the dog, it is often a direct response to a signal we have completely missed. Like an old compass still pointing north in a world filled with digital maps, instinct keeps guiding them even when we no longer understand the route. Now let us move inside the dog's brain. Many unusual canine behaviors are shaped by attachment. Dogs do not simply live beside humans. They often form deep, cross-species bonds with them. This bond is not just emotional, it is biological. One of the most important mechanisms involved is the oxytocin loop. Oxytocin is a neurochemical linked to trust, safety, and social bonding. When your dog gazes softly into your eyes, rests against you, or seeks physical closeness, oxytocin can rise in both of you. That is why eye contact can feel strangely intimate with a bonded dog. It is not merely looking, it is regulation. It is the nervous system reaching across species to say, "I feel safe with you." This same mechanism helps explain why dogs follow their owners from room to room. To outsiders, it can look needy, but often it is emotional anchoring. Your presence helps organize their inner world. Like a lighthouse on a dark shoreline, you become the point that helps them orient themselves. Yawning also belongs to this emotional language. A contagious yawn can reflect social attunement. A stress yawn can act as a calming signal. In one context, the dog is mirroring you. In another, the dog is trying to soften tension and prevent conflict. The same is true when your dog places a heavy paw on your arm. Some owners think it means stop. Others think it means pet me more. Sometimes it is simpler and more moving than either explanation. The dog has learned that touch communicates affection, so they try to return it in the only way they can. In all of these behaviors, the pattern is the same. The dog is not acting out. The dog is reaching out. Once you understand the hidden systems, everyday dog behavior starts to look different. The side lean is a perfect example. A dog presses against your leg while you stand in the kitchen. It feels affectionate, and often it is. But it can also be protective contact. By touching you, the dog monitors your movement and keeps your body within immediate range. It is part comfort, part coordination, part quiet loyalty. Then there is the spinning before sleep. On the surface, it looks silly. Your dog circles 3 or 4 times on a soft bed that clearly contains no snakes, no thorns, and no hidden insects. Yet the body remembers what the house forgot. The ritual comes from ancient nest preparation. Flatten the ground. Check the space. Create safety before rest. The same old logic appears in food hoarding. A dog receives a valuable treat and suddenly paces through the house whining, searching for the perfect hiding place. To us, that can look comical. To the dog, it is future planning. The brain is responding as though abundance may vanish tomorrow. The treat becomes a little insurance policy against an uncertain winter that never comes. Sniffing on walks works the same way. Humans think the walk is about movement. Dogs know the walk is also about information. Every hydrant, bush, and tree trunk becomes a chemical bulletin board. Who passed here? How long ago? Male or female? Healthy or stressed? Friend or stranger? The dog is not delaying the walk. The dog is reading it. Even sleep reveals this hidden intelligence. When a dog twitches in REM sleep, paws moving like tiny runners across an invisible field, the brain is replaying meaningful experiences. That dog is not switched off. It is processing. Dreams are the mind's backstage, and dogs visit it too. If they dream deeply in your presence, that alone is a sign of trust. They've laid down their guard while you hold the watch. Here is where the misunderstanding begins. Many of the behaviors owners dislike are not signs of defiance. They are signs of instinct, stress regulation, or protective intent. A dog who yawns while being scolded is not mocking you. That dog may be trying to calm the situation before it becomes overwhelming. A dog who rolls in something foul is not trying to offend your senses. They may be acting out scent-masking instincts, once useful in hunting. A dog who brings a dead animal to the door is not trying to ruin your day. In the canine mind, that may be provisioning, a gift, a primitive form of care. The dog sees a hairless companion who has never successfully hunted a rabbit and decides help is clearly needed. This is the paradox of canine behavior. What appears foolish from the outside can be deeply meaningful from the inside. The dog is not operating according to human etiquette. The dog is operating through instinct, sensation, and association. And that brings us to the most misunderstood behavior of all. The dog who suddenly climbs onto your lap, chest, or body with urgency. Most people label it as clinginess. Some even interpret it as dominance, which is often a misleading way to view normal social behavior in dogs. But sometimes the dog is responding to something real that we cannot detect on our own. Dogs can notice changes in scent far below the threshold of human awareness. They can respond to shifts linked to stress hormones, changes in body chemistry, and emotional dysregulation. They can also become highly responsive to altered breathing, trembling, muscle tension, or unusual stillness. So when a dog urgently climbs onto you, the message may not be, "Notice me." The message may be, "Something about you feels different." Now we reach the center of the mystery. Why do dogs suddenly climb on you? Sometimes the answer is ordinary. Your dog wants closeness. Your dog feels insecure. Your dog seeks warmth, contact, or reassurance. For bonded dogs, your body can function like an emotional dock where their nervous system comes to anchor. But sometimes the behavior changes in intensity. It becomes focused, persistent, unusual. This is when it deserves real attention. Dogs learn our normal state with astonishing precision. They memorize our routines the way musicians memorize rhythm. They know how we usually smell after sleep. They know how we sound when calm. They know the pace of our footsteps, the tension in our shoulders, the weather inside our mood. And because they know our baseline so well, they also know when it changes. A panic attack may arrive before language does. A blood sugar shift may happen before we feel it clearly. A wave of grief or stress may alter the way we breathe and move. Some dogs respond by getting as close as possible. They press their chest to yours. They climb onto your lap. They place weight across your body. This can resemble deep pressure therapy, where steady body pressure helps ground a distressed nervous system. In service work, dogs are sometimes trained to do exactly this. But even untrained dogs may do similar things through instinct and bonding. They sense dysregulation and respond with contact. Other times, the dog may focus on one area of the body. Repeated sniffing, lying on it, pawing at it, or climbing toward it. That does not automatically mean illness, but it does mean the pattern should not be dismissed carelessly. Dogs may not understand disease the way doctors do, but they are masters of noticing change. And when they notice it in someone they love, they often act in the only language they have. They come closer, closer still, as if their body is trying to build a bridge to whatever hurts. That is why suddenly climbing on you can feel so intense. It may be attachment, it may be anxiety, it may be protection, it may be investigation, or it may be all four at once, woven together like threads in the same rope. So the next time your dog climbs onto you in a way that feels urgent or strange, pause before you scold. Look at the timing. Look at your stress. Look at your health. Look at what changed in the room, in the routine, or in yourself. Because sometimes, your dog is not being annoying at all. Sometimes, they are acting like a living alarm, a furry shield, a silent nurse who cannot explain the diagnosis, but knows something is wrong. Dog behavior is rarely random. Behind the stare, the yawn, the lean, the spin, the sniff, the dream twitch, and the sudden climb, there is usually a reason. That reason may be instinct, it may be emotional bonding, it may be stress regulation, or it may be your dog detecting a shift you have not noticed yet. This is why curiosity matters more than irritation. The behaviors owners dismiss most quickly are sometimes the ones carrying the most meaning. Of course, no single behavior should be treated as a medical diagnosis. But if your dog shows sudden changes, unusual clinginess, distress, or repeated focus on one part of your body, speak with a veterinarian and consider checking in with your own doctor as well. This video is educational and should not replace professional advice. But the next time your dog climbs onto you, do not just feel the weight. Notice the message. Because sometimes love does not arrive as a tail wag or a lick. Sometimes it arrives as urgency, as pressure, as protection, as a dog trying with all their heart to tell you what words never could. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden psychology behind pet behavior, subscribe to Pet Brain Explained. And in the comments, tell me your dog's name and the strangest thing they do most often.